Hey, I'm Mackenzie. I am with Arranging Sunlight, and my goal is to teach you how to arrange flowers. If you have no idea about flowers or have a little bit or are expert, I think there's a lot of information to be taken in by taking this basic flower arranging workshop. My goal is that you are empowered to make something beautiful, that you know some of the basic skills to help your design make sense in a vase, so that way they're the right height, or they're not falling down. So those are some of the things that I hear often. And as we go through it, you'll get information that will help you each design moving forward. So let's just dive in, and I will teach you all there is to know about basic flower arranging in a vase. So one of the things that I always teach in my workshops is flower care. And the reason I do this is because I want your flowers to last as long as possible, so that way you can take care of them, but also you can enjoy them for longer. One of the things that is kind of a no-brainer, but is always good to be said, is that you always want to start with a clean vessel, which means the vase or the thing that you're putting the flowers into, that needs to be really clean. So hot soapy water will do the trick. And then any scissors or snips that you use, you want to make sure they're clean. I always love using like Clorox wipes or just running them under the water with hot soapy water. And that basically is to make sure that there's no bacteria that is living in the vase or on the scissors that can get in the way of the life of a flower. Whenever you talk about having a flower, it's an organic thing. And so when you put something that's living and green inside water, well, you're giving it all the right elements to start growing bacteria and all kind of that icky stuff that we don't like to see. And then we want to make sure that our flower water stays clear and is healthy. And so that's why we talk about bacteria growth and how to kind of get rid of that and get ahead of that. The other thing that I always recommend is flower food. I think a lot of us know what flower food is. It feeds our flowers, it helps give them the nutrients that they need, but it also has an antibacterial agent in there. So what we're getting is that antibacterial cleaning thing or mechanism that is helping fight off that bacteria that is going to start growing if an organic thing sits in water for too long. So always do that. Typically with flower packets, you'll get those when you go to the store and grab your roses or what have you. They usually have one of these. Oftentimes I see that we're dumping this whole pack into a vessel that looks like this. Really and truly, you need about 1/4 of a pack. The flowers don't need that much. They don't need a whole pack. And so having 1/4 of a pack, just kind of sprinkle it in there in your water, or you can put it in first and then put your water in. You want to make sure it gets mixed in. But the cool thing about only using 1/4 of a pack is I just fold that down, clip it, and then save it for later, because the other element with floral care is changing out this water and giving your stems a fresh cut. So when I have an arrangement, I say about every 2 to 3 days, 3 days is fine, you take out that water, whether it's by pouring it out, or if we don't have anything holding the flowers in, we pull the flowers out, change out the water, put in new flower food, and then we always want to give our stems a fresh cut. So what's really important about giving our stems a fresh cut is at the end of this stem, it starts dying off as the days go on. So when we cut this stem, we're opening up new avenues for that stem to absorb that water and those nutrients that the flower food and the water have. So when you cut a stem, I always want you to think about cutting it at a 45-degree angle. So we're kind of going at it at an angle, and about 1/2 inch to 1 inch up the stem. A nice little cut will do the trick, and then put it back in the water. The reason that we cut it at an angle is to kind of understand that when you put something in a vase straight up and down and you do a flat cut, that stem can get caught at the bottom of that vase and not have access to that water and nutrients that are there available to it. So when you cut it at an angle, it's always got some of that stem surface available to drink. So definitely always cut it at an angle. So between those couple of things, the clean vessel, clean scissors, making sure that you add flower food if you have it, changing the water every 3 days, giving your stems a fresh cut if you can, that really encompasses what floral care is. It will really help extend the life of your flowers. Also, when you go to the store, look for flowers that maybe are not completely open. So we're also looking at stems that are green, especially for roses. We want greener stems. When they start to turn more brown, that means that they're a little bit older in age. It doesn't mean that they're only going to last for a day or two. It just means that it will last a day or two shorter than maybe the greenest stem or a tighter bud on your flowers. Like a carnation, you're not going to get a different stem color indicating any kind of age, but you would see that if this was tighter, not as open, it would be a newer flower. Carnations have really great vase life, so they're one of those that I'd like to choose simply because they last a really long time. And so just kind of think about what you're looking at when you're buying flowers. That can add in those extra days of vase life. So hopefully that can help you start off on the right foot.